What is up, theology nerds? This is Trip, and this is a special episode. You could call it a lure, Kristen. That's what you could call it.
Lure.
Yeah. This is a lure to guess what? Theology Beer Camp 2024. Oh, yeah. Are you ready? We're giving you the lure, and I am here with Kristen.
Lure.
Camp director.
Wow.
Yeah, I use the buttons for you.
Man, I need some buttons. Yeah, the director title always makes me stand up a little straighter because it feels so formal.
Oh.
But, you know what? Then I remember it's camp.
Yeah, it's camp. It's camp. And so this year, Theology Beer Camp, October 17th and 19th, is headed to Denver, Colorado.
Woo!
And we just sent an email out yesterday to the homebrewed people. Unless you have been to camp before or on one of the, on the email list, it said, tell me when camp's coming. Y'all just found out. And you got until the end of March to grab your pre-sale tickets before
so soon.
Everybody starts spreading the word that's coming and prices go up and stuff. So that's why we need to help everyone feel the lure, Kristen.
The lure, if you don't feel the lure, make sure your lure tune is tuned in, is adjusted. Get your lure adjusted so you can, because this is pretty compelling lore.
Yeah. So last year was your first year being camp director, and for those that came, they could identify you quickly because on the first day there were two people that were confidently in Star Wars cosplay. One of them was a Wookiee, and one of them was Princess Leia, and you could guess which one of us did which.
Yeah, I mean, I love being a Wookiee at any point, so.
Well, what I just heard there, everyone, was what Kristen wants to wear at the opening of Beer Camp this year. But
hey, as long as it's been dry cleaned.
It's been dry cleaned. If you haven't been to Beer Camp before, it is a weird event. It's not like others. It's kind of like somebody that aged out of being a youth minister but didn't want to, who happened to have a theology PhD and podcast and enjoys day drinking in sanctuaries while you nerd out, put on an event. That's kind of what it is. And if you want to come, there's going to be over 20 different scholars there, 20 different podcasts, God pods, and Kristen.
Yes.
There's also a large amount of craft beverages. And,
oh, yeah.
And people say, Trip, what if I don't like beer? And I'm like, last year, what do we have?
Many other options. We had wine. We had, of course, soft drinks. If you're just a classic H2O enjoyer, we got that too.
We even had
bubble water. I mean, it's
the kombucha.
Oh my gosh!
Have you ever heard anyone called it the bucha?
No,
because someone said you got the bucha, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I just thought this person might just be a little tipsy in the hallway. No, they were excited about kombucha.
Which, in reality, it might not be alcohol free, but it's like 0.001
yes,
or something
basically.
like that. So
basically.
You're good. The thing is you're good.
Yeah,
if you don't want alcohol,
it's just probiotic energy. It's ready for your intestines and stuff, digested tract. But also, people should know that there's an AA group that's there. You'll be able to connect with people that are sober and think so. It's there are many palates. And
absolutely,
there's always tons of fun, food and such. But this year, we're gonna tell you some of the people coming. Kristen, who are you excited about?
Well, I mean, I heard when you said Brian McClaren, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool because he's had some stuff I've tuned into over the years where I've been like, man, this is really going to impact my view of faith. Little theology in there. He kind of has a model for people who are maybe a little deconstructing and a little bit of an orienting sort of framework there. That was great. Who are you most excited for, Trip?
Well, I was one of my things I love about Beer Camp is there's some of my super nerd friends that come regularly, like Adam Clark and Tom Ord and Grace G's son Kim. York Rieger's going to be back. We're working on something really cool. We haven't exactly decided what we're going to talk about it, but it's like a global liberation theology project type thing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we could call it that, but like use the initials in like a fancy font.
GNL. I'm bad at acronyms.
Global Liberation Theology. GLTP.
GLTP. Is that taken for anything we know about?
I don't know.
think so.
I don't know. I'm dyslexic.
I feel like.
So,
Are you really?
yeah. So like acronyms don't really help me. But
nice.
they're going to be there for the first time at Beer Camp, but not the first time at a homebrewed event. Is John Thatamanil. I love hanging out with John Thatamanil, professor at Union Theological Seminary. He and I are actually working on a big thing on Paul Tillich right now for later in the year. All ye homebrewed peeps. There's your. I wasn't even planning on saying that. And my partner in ruining dinner podcasting, Diana Butler Bass, is coming.
DBB.
Yeah. See, she's got initials, but they're easier to remember because it's like
super easy.
two B's.
Yeah.
So then you're just like, it's Diana and the BB. DBB.
Yeah. DBB.
And
very succinct.
I don't know if Ilia Delio goes by ID because she is into science and religion, but not intelligent design. So I'm going to guess that Ilia Delio is not going to use her initials. But yeah, it's going to be a bunch of fun. Those are just some of the scholars that are going to be there. There's a whole bunch of podcasters, many of which have scholars in it, like Leah Robinson and Christy Whaley, or Pete Enns and Jared Bias from Bible for Normal People. But we'll also have our friends at Systematic Geekology, Tolkien Heads, Kevin Garcia at The Tiny Revolution, Josh Patterson at Rethinking Faith. Dan Koch is coming back from You Have Permission.
Classic.
Though now that you've been on one of his episodes and stuff, I really feel like he's improving.
Whoa. Well, I mean, I would say don't tell him that, but definitely tell him that. And, you can just tell him I'm a great influence on him. But no, Dan's great. He's doing a lot. He's getting on the YouTube. He's getting into video world. He got a new camera.
Uh-oh.
It's great.
Well,
look out, internet.
Okay, so last year, which I think the first beer camp was January 2016. I had timed it to be during the inauguration of Hillary Clinton.
No way.
Yeah. You see how that worked out.
Well, sometimes planning ahead gets a little crazy.
Well, last year we added some new points, leveled up different elements in it.
For sure.
We had multiple stages throughout. Last year we had a geek stage where they did like Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and all that. We're gonna have the geek stage again, and that's gonna be going down.
Nice.
We're gonna have the theology nerd stage.
Love it.
You say that, but I don't think you're gonna come.
Well, last year I just had to run around too much, and going downstairs was a little out of the way. It wasn't on my loop. I kept running the entire time. But this year I have faith that it'll be more. I've got some faith.
That's good. We need a director with confidence. But there's going to be multiple stages this year. Again, maybe even more than last year, and we'll be doing more exotic things on the stages.
Ooh, mystery lore.
Yeah, but not like that kind of exotic. I guess you need to say that. Like, we're not more of like a hardcore kind of exotic. Like, wow,
hardcore exotic.
Like, that got crazy. Oh, that was different. It was a change of direction. I wasn't sure what that button was going to do. I just hit it for flair.
It's perfect. I think it worked.
Yeah.
I think it did exactly what you needed.
Well, and last year we had some amazing music. Trey Pearson and Derek Webb and Flamey Grant and Plum were there. Are we doing music again, Kristen?
We're doing music, and because we got in a little more backup, there's it's gonna be an even more well planned out execution Thankfully, we got Sari in helping us out and a few other secret things going on. But it's going to be great. Considering the fact that we're already planning it, it's going to be great.
I know. Just to clarify, but I've had this experience where friends that are like theologians email me or like, am I not going to get to come to beer camp? Then they realize that you had emailed them because in the past, Tripp just says yes to all his friends. And then I don't communicate it to the camp director. And then there's awkward conversations where you look at me and you said, so what did you tell them? And then I have to go look through text messages and emails. So we're trying to gauge all, where you and Sari, y'all know what's going on. But normally we haven't planned anything. Normally I start texting friends right around the time my kids get out of school and see what we're going to do. And we've already got like 150 people coming. So, look, we're planning ahead. There's going to be tons of exciting things that are going to get announced, more speakers, more podcasts, all sorts of different things. But, what are some of the things we're talking about that haven't happened at beer camp that, you're like, Tripp took some advice from people's like sheets they filled out after.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing, we're getting a little more intentional in options for like downtime and hang time, and that includes spaces for podcasters, spaces to encourage really good conversation, not just the interactive stage, but in and about all of the rooms and the common areas, the atriums, if you will. And I think if it all goes well, that's going to mean even the bookstore will be much more organized than last year, and there's opportunities to meet and chat with some of your scholars. What am I forgetting, Tripp? We're
like weaving together all the main sessions.
Oh, that's right. There's like a cohesive plan.
Yeah. So so how we did music last year. Now we're like planning it way in advance, and we have a friend who's helping. It's still hush-hush because we'll have to do a live something or another and reveal everything.
Oh, yeah.
But with that. But, and we'll have, like, these 6 main sessions. They'll be like the normal, like, theology nerd keynote. Then there'll be, like, art stuff engaging it, practice-based engagement, panel and things all woven together where it's like a cohesive smorgasbord or a cornucopia of sorts.
Oh yeah.
Cornucopia.
Oh yeah.
And not just like in the main sessions itself. We're going to have new kinds of sessions this year. New kinds of opportunities for people to experience, express, reflect, engage, rather than just listening, drinking, and talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if we're going to have a bouncy house yet. Because apparently somebody lost their biscuits on the bouncy house last year. Who knows?
We found out late in life.
I know also, because I thought you were 24. And I didn't know how late in life you were, Kristen.
Well, we keep it a mystery very intentionally. But also high altitude. How much more altitude do you need? Like bouncy house, you don't need to get any higher.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. One of my friends been on the podcast a bunch of time. Mark Scandrett is helping organize organize a number of different ways people that are coming can both experience, reflect using art, their body and stuff around questions of faith and spirituality, facilitated conversations that are small and things where people can unpack stuff, use art as ways of reflecting and processing things. And one of the cool things is, whenever you get your ticket, at some point, probably closer to when we normally plan camp, you'll get the opportunity to let us know that you want to be a part of facilitating something or contributing in different ways. And we're gonna there's just gonna be different learning styles and forms of exploratory embodiment into the divine becoming. Something like that.
Yes. And if
that makes me hit one of these buttons. Oh, yeah. The more you know. The more you know.
I mean, I don't know. If I didn't already have a ticket that I gave to myself as the person who creates the tickets, I'd probably buy a ticket now. But I
That's good to hear.
I love that it's kind of just leveling up this year. We've got so many awesome people involved, just getting more intentional. I think getting like the vision, and we all can create that kind of from day one. We're even getting there sooner, so we can set everything up sooner this year, as opposed to like, a lot of it the morning that everyone's coming. We're gonna have everything ready to go.
That's our plan.
Our plan, and nothing is gonna go wrong. No.
No, don't do that, because then what goes wrong could be really bad. We will only have. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Pete Enns has said he's already trying to get Satan out of his life so that he doesn't get sick and can come.
Good. Good.
Boeing is already addressing all their plane issues, so maybe it means everyone.
That was our biggest issue last year. Yes,
Boeing. Everyone will get to camp on time, and we won't be trying to figure out how to switch orders of everything. And
I'd love if someone who's coming to speak, who's almost 90, doesn't get stranded in one of the most humid cities in the United States. That would be my dream.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how many 90-year-olds are going to come this year to speak, but that if they do, then we don't want them to be stranded.
We don't want to be
in
stranded.
A hot and humid area.
No, and that's Boeing. Any way you can help us out there, please do. That's
actually, you know what might help their PR if they just called us and said, "Here's what we want to do. We would like to give free airplane tickets to everyone going to Theology Beer Camp." Because we want people to be able to gather with like-minded people to carry their questions and doubts and struggles of faith into a celebratory environment where they can experience embraced by other people that share those same burdens, and then reflect and process it with all the different brilliant wisdom of the academy, and then the kind of people like our God pods that are facilitating communities of faith online. We want to make it personal, physical, and like they can Delta, and it's just like we have these Boeings over here. We already are going to Denver. Maybe we'll just fly everyone coming.
Not all those seats are full all the time.
Yeah.
You got some space. I think there's some space.
Yeah, they'll be like, look, Tripp's got a silver medallion. That's basically like.
There you go. It's like the golden ticket. I have a comment. I forgot. God pods. Speaking of, you read out a number of these names. Incredible lineup so far. But we are still taking applications for God pods who want to join this year. If you are seeking an application, I would say easiest thing to do is hop on Instagram and just chat GodPods 2024 or email godpods@homebrewedchristianity.com. I'll get that app over to you. We'd love to see what sort of army of God pods we can embrace this year. And they will, come over the hill at sunrise and save the day.
Ooh, that was a Rohan reference?
Yeah, it kind of came late in my sentence that I thought it would be an opportunity, but I gave it a go.
Look for the light on the third day.
Ooh, yes. See,
but it is not this day. Yeah. You know how pumped a certain demographic gets for Theoden's battle ride speech?
Oh wow! Hopefully, the demographic of people at beer camp.
This is a true story, kind of an aside, but it's okay. When I go for personal records in Kettlebell, I turn it on. I turn on the Battle of Helm's Deep. I crank it up, and it's just like when when Gimli goes to blow the horn, and Aragorn and they're about to get out. It's like, let us go for one last ride, and I'm like,
wow,
yes, yeah. Anyway,
oh my gosh, wow. Maybe I'll have to try that next time I go on a little jiggity jog, because that's what moves it from a jiggity jog to a run.
Yeah, you're just like the forces of Mordor, or like or when Theoden's running along the army in the Return of the King, hitting all their spears and giving his speech right before Pelennor Fields, Battle of Pelennor Fields. Oh, come on. Just get
So-
pumped.
So pumped. I love it.
Hey,
I
Kristen,
yes.
I like Lord of the Rings.
I had the smallest idea. That it was just an inkling, really.
I know. I've been actually.
My-
I like to say that to people.
Just get them in the loop. Make sure they're primed.
Yeah. That way, in case they were like, why did Kristen put strip head on some dude in a cloak with a sword on the page?
Hey, and there's more where that came from. Let me tell you, you're about to see a lot of Photoshop work and maybe some Canva AI work.
Yeah. Well. The other thing I would say is, like our friends, the different geek podcasts, that organize the Geek Stage. We got a number of them coming back. Some of them are bringing more of their co-hosts and stuff this year. And they had an idea which we've latched onto. I completely forgot about this as a new element. That the event starts on Thursday night at happy hour. You go check in, get your pint glass, start a tasting, meeting people, checking out our wonderful sponsors for the event and the book table and all that kind of stuff. And then you go in. We have a nice little fun night. Well, probably ends in group karaoke. And if you want, you could all come and cosplay Lord of the Rings style. That is all permitted. It's permitted. Maybe even encouraged. I think we should have a cool like bonus piece of swag if you come in cosplay, just to bribe everyone.
Yes.
What if they get even a bigger pint glass? So, like, you give a 12-ounce glass if you aren't in cosplay. But if you come in cosplay, you get the imperial pint glass, like UK style, and it says it comes in pints.
Wow.
This is what having meetings with me is like. I just tell her random ideas when they come to mind.
This is our meeting right now. It's for everyone to see.
Yeah, I'm just going to send it. I'm just going to send this to 50,000 people on the podcast.
And then I get... It's actually just accountability, really.
Yeah, but yeah, if you are just listening, you could go look at the video because you can see this really cool picture that Kristen has at a brand new apartment where she moved in. The artwork is rather amazing. Don't tell them what it is, but it's
too beautiful.
It's an original.
To say.
It's not even a copy. It's poppin'. It's poppin'. Is that what the cool kids say? It's poppin'.
Yeah. Sure. Definitely.
Yes.
For sure.
For sure.
Sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. For sure. So the Systematic Geekology peeps, Ryan from Superpower Happy Hour, they were like, well, what if we came early and we did a pre-event? Because it just starts at happy hour where we all got together and played role-playing games all day Thursday. Then go out to eat dinner, come back, happy hour, podcast fun. It was a great idea. And then there were a number of clergy that came last year that was like, it'd be great to connect with other clergy that are coming to the event, like the kind of things they learn about engaging people, the kind of demographic that comes to beer camp, and like share resources and ideas and stuff. And I was like, that's a cool idea. I can't do jack on Thursday. I'm going to be setting up stages and sound and walking around feeling like stressed and excited. And saying to yourself, no, you can't start drinking yet because you have to have it together when karaoke gets around. And then, like, be professional. These are what's going to go through my head. Well, I might not do it, but Brian McClaren and a host of other clergy are like, yeah, we can help put it together. So that's happening. And there's going to be a host of there's going to be like all these options for Thursday where if you want to kind of like have workshop style intense engagement, playing a role-playing game, clergy working on stuff, like thinking about family and parenting without handing on the faith where you have to deconstruct, other stuff like that. There's going to be a host of options. See, that's what I'm talking about. This we're leveling
up.
A
multiplicity of options.
Leveling up.
Yes. I mean, really, Trip, when someone has a big event like a wedding, they send out a save the date, 6 months in advance?
Yeah.
We are even earlier than 6 months in advance. So just save the date.
Yeah.
This is the invitation.
And if you...
But you know what? RSVP by getting your ticket.
And they don't even have to bring a wedding gift or anything. They just have to bring their smile and like just wanting to chill and hang. They got to bring a good vibe. Good vibe.
Good vibes required for sure. And as much as we loved Missouri last year, the nice thing is at Denver, you can just usually right in there, direct flight.
They got a big airport.
Big airport, very spooky. Lots of
Have you watched some of those YouTube videos on the conspiracies about Denver Airport?
Oh yeah.
Y'all should all check them out after you buy your ticket.
If that's not enough of another reason, you buy your ticket first. Unless you, then you're locked in. But it's not boring. It's definitely not boring.
No. Christian and I are going out to visit the site in a few weeks in April. When I'll be there, I'll be preaching at St. Andrew United Methodist, our host. And Tom Ord and I are putting on a little back-to-back conference action. First one will be with clergy looking at process relational preaching called Persuade. And then we're going to do a gathering called God After Deconstruction. And then I'll preach and stuff. Since we're there, we're going to get to go on the ground, connect with locals and such. Maybe reach out to some of the local craft beverage distributors. Our friends over at Brew Theology are going to be at the event, and in the house I'm going to be at. Look, I got my Brew Theology hat.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it used to be black. That's how much I've worn it, and I kept having to wash it, and then it turned gray. But the stitching stayed black.
Kind of cool.
I know. It's weathered. It's authentic even.
Oh yeah.
Does it look authentic?
It looks authentic. Yes, it looks legit.
Yeah.
It's
that's what the kids are saying. They're like authentic.
Poppin'.
That's what.
Poppin'.
Yeah.
You know who we did ask those youth pastors to give us the list of the things the kids are actually saying.
Yeah, and see how many we can fit in the podcast conversations without the guests knowing.
Yeah.
So you're talking to Ilia Delio, and you're like, "Oh, that's poppin'."
I feel like now the replacement for poppin' is bussin'.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But I'm too old to say that.
You're too old to say bussin'? What about Riz?
I think so. I can only in the most sarcastic way. I can't use it genuinely, unfortunately.
Did you know some people call daddies zaddies?
This is new.
Yeah. I had someone post a comment. They were like, somebody went zaddy, and I was like, I've been a dad for 16 years. And then I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. It was kind of a comment and/or not.
Kind of a comment and kind of a not.
Well, no, it just might have been boundary crossing.
I see. Yeah, I like to stick with saddies and baddies.
Yeah.
But I don't go to zaddies.
Yeah, I'm yeah. I'm not just. I just decided to stop talking because it would require me to edit.
Understood. Yeah.
What about cat? Do you use that phrase?
I'm also, I think, too old to use that, unfortunately. Although I do know it as well. For me. It's almost confusing. It doesn't make some of these words. I don't know what they mean, but they make sense immediately. This one, it throws me off.
Yeah, I still don't quite get it, and when I hear it, I have to think about one of my favorite sports podcasts because they talk about the Lakers a lot. They have a segment called Fact or Cap. And then I think, it's the opposite of a fact. Because if you were like, oh, cap, I would think that's like capstone. Like, ooh, this is rock solid. Nope. That's not how it works.
Huh. I would think of caption.
Ooh,
like
caption.
Subtext or something.
Ooh,
I don't know. But
cap.
Yeah, it's cap. No, it's beyond me. Won't be entering my vernacular. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, theologybeer.camp is a website where you can go. You can get information. We'll keep updating it, and you can go grab your ticket and go check it because over time, ticket prices go up. Also, we're normally aren't even selling tickets now, and there's already over 150 people coming, so yeah, and at some point in the near future, Mark Feldmeyer, the senior minister at St. Andrew, will be on the podcast. We recorded it, and for those that haven't been in a congregation church building for a long time, they are the largest open affirming United Methodist church in the country, and they are excited to host and be as hospitable as possible to people who, knowing that for a lot of people, this might be the last stop or the first time back or a stretch if you're not used to being in that kind of space. And so one of the most important things for us at Beer Camp, on top of just having lots of fun, is giving everyone the space and permission to be wherever they are, and with a little process confidence that in every moment of becoming, the divine meets you where you are and calls you into a new layer of adventurous zest. And at Beer Camp, we just try to keep it zesty. You know what I'm saying, Kristen?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certified zesty.
Certified zesty. I understand that. I understand certified zesty. I was really upset when some Italian dressing started tagging their advertisements #zesty. I was like, what kind of encroachment is this? That is so cap. That's non-bussin'.
So, ultra cap, non-bussin'.
Yeah.
No riz.
No riz at all. More like waddy energy. Like whack daddy. Yeah.
And yeah, we've got our own words here.
Yeah, don't get whack daddy. Waddy.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be a
Hilarious.
waddy. Come to Theology Beer Camp.
That's our new tagline. You'll see it in all our advertising.
Don't be a waddy.
People are vigorously looking up the definition on Urban Dictionary.
Saruman was totally a waddy. Gandalf, zaddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gandalf.
But if you've read the book, Faramir. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
there we go. Do you feel like we've lured?
I think we've lured. The lure is strong.
Good. And after y'all go get your ticket, call your friends and say, we got to go to Theology Beer Camp. If you haven't gone to the YouTube for Homebrewed to check out the video, you can go see the most amazing piece of art that Kristen has right behind her. You'll say to yourself, how is a camp director, like, is she not going to be like the camp, what would you call the camp art person? The camp art person.
Curator?
Yeah, you're an art curator. They're going to look at it and they're going to go, nay. That was a hint. You get it?
It's good. Now you've created more of a
suspense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty. Peace, friends.